I'm back. I just finished having a phone call with the Seattle police who informed me, "Are you still waiting? Are you still waiting?" And it's, "Yeah, dude, I am still waiting." Some woman decided that she was going to put her arm around me, and I have to call the police to say, you know what? That was highly suspicious. And it was highly suspicious that I'm sitting in a fucking business lounge and everyone wants to try and talk to me. And it's just, do you not see other people there? Why don't you talk to one of them? Why are you coming up to me? Why are you trying to be next to me? And then when I call you on it, because now the train attendant has to be next to you and say, oh, why are you bringing you into this? Yeah, and you confess, oh, I love dogs, whatever. But you were right by me, and I paid for my ticket just like everyone else. You see, this is the kind of bullshit that America puts you through that makes you say, you know what? They appreciate people of color when we're just thugs. When we're just thugs and objects of ridicule and disdain, it's easy because you can just see us at our worst and not see us as our best. You don't see the good that we have in us. You don't see the genius that we have. You don't see us. You just see the smallest sliver, and you only allow that because the moment that we rise anytime in America, here comes white people to try and put you down, try and keep you in this situation where you're not allowed to reach your potential, which sometimes goes beyond music. It goes beyond being an entertainer. I make music, I sing, I do a lot of things, but my country is hurting. My people have bad health. Their health is poor, not because they don't have any money, it's because they are tricked and seduced into a system that undercuts your health, undercuts the value of a stress free life. They keep you stressed, so you say, if I just spent more money, if I just spent a little bit more money, maybe I'd be happy. If I spent more money, maybe the things that stress me out would go away. They'd quiet down. So here I am, late at night, in bed, in a hotel that I didn't even want to fucking be in a city that I didn't want to be in. And even Reddit is saying, there are hot guys in your area. I popped on Reddit for 2 seconds and they're like, we know where you are, you fucking horny satire. Look at all this. Look at all this. You got some fucking hot guys in this area. And my situation is I have just had forced PTSD events, and then the hotel that I'm in forces more PTSD events, and there's just nothing I can do about it except say, I don't want to live here. You can't force me to live in a country that keeps trying to course correct me toward being a star when I'm the explorer. I'm the person who says, hey, what's over there? When I say over there, I say Mars. There is something on Mars. I'm gonna fucking find it or I'm gonna fucking put it there. That's more important to me than starting a family. That's more important to me than starting a business. It's more important to me than having a conversation with some lonely ass white people. So I know, it's really, really, really hard. It's really hard to look at a talented person of color and say, yeah, just you do you. But please let that be the lesson of the day. Let that be the lesson of the day because people need help. People need help more than ever. They need heroes. They already have singers. Katy Perry playing in a car. That helps a person get through the day. Firework playing on your fucking stereo can save your life. But so can effective, effective environmental policy. Katy Perry is very, very fucking busy. Fucking busy. She has a life. She can't hold your hand and say, you know that song, Chained to the Rhythm? Maybe it isn't a toe tapper for you, but for some people, that song is an anthem, a powerful anthem that tells you that what you're feeling, that there's something wrong, is your true compass. That thing that makes you spiral out of these gravitational black holes, that's your life. I don't know. I'm a gamer, so I think of video games as windows into a world where the rules are more easily defined. You can see cause and effect immediately. Life is a bit nebulous. You, you think you know what's going on, but not everything is explained, and some things have to be almost telegraphed for people to pick up on. I get that. There's a booming business on the West of how can we domesticate and teach you something that you need to know. Sometimes what you need to know is you are important. You are important. You shouldn't ever feel unsafe. You shouldn't ever feel violated. And violation takes many forms. Sometimes it isn't, sometimes it isn't the large things, but the little things that just say, you know what, I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that. You have every right to say that. You have every right to call to the police and explain to them, you know what, I wasn't okay with that. I wasn't okay with that. So this way, they can have a record of it so that they can, next time they have an opportunity to draft up legislation or draft up a budget or even speak to a company and say, you know what, we had a complaint with someone about this issue. And you know what, that is wrong. It is wrong for someone to just put their arm around you as a stranger in a situation where it's just not appropriate. If this was a gay bar and some guy decided that he was going to, put some moves on me, that's another thing. And I would probably still decline because I have PTSD. I'm too damaged. I'm too damaged to go to a gay bar. But in this particular scenario, I might have to play it by ear. And in some cases, I would say, you know what? I'll go with that flow. I'll go with that flow. If I'm feeling it, I'm feeling it. But if I'm not feeling it, it's okay to say no. It is always okay to say no. It is always okay to say, I'm not okay. The operator of the 911 call center called to say, are you the person who, called about a panic attack? And yeah, I did. I called about a panic attack. I told the flight attendant, I'm sorry, not flight attendant. I can't, oh my God, my life is such a fucking mess. The train attendant that, yeah, I was having issues. I was having some health issues because of this forced interaction with someone where it's, yeah, I know it's business class and, this is the, can you learn to fucking hobnob? Can you learn to work a room, grease some palms, grease your fucking lips? Because, if you're a business person in the business class, you should be able to fucking talk up anyone because they might be a customer or they might help you practice if you want to speak to a customer. I get it, but that's how an American thinks. And I'm an indigenous person who happened to be born in America, but not a part of any tribe. So where does that fucking leave me? Nowhere. Nowhere. I want to check. Oh, sorry. I cannot speak English. I cannot. I speak in such a fucking weird way that my brain can't even process it. People tell me you sound weird and I have to explain to them. I probably do. I probably do. What I was trying to say is that I want to take this channel to a different place. I want to take this channel and take it with me on this journey to rediscover nature. Take this with me on this journey to explore the world, help people, speak to them, listen, find out what they need, help them, be a voice for them, or inspire them to be a voice for themselves. But instead of doing that, just let me end up staying up the whole fucking night waiting on police that would have showed up hours ago but didn't, because as I'm listening outside the fucking window, there are nothing but sirens going off, which means yet again I'm in a city where these people, These people are in a system. They're locked to a system where it's if I just had more money, if I just work 20, 30 hours, invent more hours in a day than there are hours in a day, instead of realizing that it's never how much money you have, it's how you spend your time. Are you spending it with people who you love, who love you? Are you spending it working on your health, treating your body like a temple? There've been some comments lately that, you know, I'm fat, but eating is good. You should fall in love with food again and let food love you. Do I want to be obese? Hell no. Do I want to be morbidly obese? Hell no. But do I want to get to a place in my head where I don't think I need to have a six pack or I need to spend all my hours in the gym? I'm tired. I'm tired of being the pretty boy. I'm tired of putting myself in these situations where you just want to be Britney Spears in the salon saying, "Give me the fucking hair buzzer because I'm about to shave my head." Because I'm so sick and tired of people telling me how beautiful I am or just running up to me or putting their arms around me because they think that just because I'm on a screen or attractive, that it gives them the right to my body. And also, I'm not fucking getting paid exorbitant rates that I could afford my own shamalama ding dong spiritual retreat in order to rebalance myself after having my energy sucked out by these fucking good morning people who want to always put you in a position where they're just glomming on to your energy. These people are vampires. I mean, I would know. I mean, I am a vampire too, besides being a werewolf. But don't they come from the same thing? And if you're being honest, isn't everyone at least a little bit of both? But that's not something we talk about. I mean, why would you? Why would you look at these situations where someone goes hairy and, goes a little bit more in touch with their natural side and think lycanthropy? Am I still waiting on the Seattle police? What choice do I have? If police come to the fucking building saying, "We want to talk to you," do I want to show up in my fucking shorts and say, "Let me talk to you about how I was violated," or do I want to stay up and then have them call me so I can put on some semblance of an outfit? How am I in this position? Why couldn't they just let me go to my fucking cottage and just, I don't know, sleep for once. Just, no, I'm a veteran, so I have to deal with Afghanistan level stressed for the rest of my life. I already served my country. Now, did I serve in Afghanistan? Fuck no. But do I recognize that level of stress of who the fuck is going to come through that door, or I don't know this area? Why the fuck do I have to live this way? Now, I'm of the position that I should confront these issues, but I'm also of the issue that I need a break. Even the president goes to fucking Camp David because he says every fucking day someone causes some problem and I have to be a president about it. Instead of saying, well, aren't you fucking governors or aren't you fucking heads of your own fucking countries? Put your heads together and fucking solve it. Like, you need my help for this? I don't want to be president. I don't. Because the president has to be president of the whole country, and I'm of the mindset at this point of if you aren't getting satisfaction, then you better go get some. If that means that you have to forge your own destiny or build your own town and fill it with whatever the fuck you need, then go do that. Stop looking at these cities and say, you know what? We need a better homeless program. We need a better homeless program. If only we had housing for the homeless. It's how about housing for fucking anybody? I look at that situation and I say, are you sure you have housing? Are you sure? Because there are people who are living with walls around them, but there are wolves on the other side of that wall. Are you sure you don't need housing too? Are you sure? These cities are not they're not helping the situation. And people go about their lives saying, well, tomorrow I get a cup of coffee. What day is it? Does it even matter? Tomorrow I get a cup of coffee. And they just live that way. And that's okay for them. That's okay. That's all they want out of life. Some brown fucking hot liquid. Not enlightenment, not security, not freedom. People don't want freedom. I want freedom. And if America isn't going to give me freedom, if America is going to nickel and dime me to a point where I have to say, no, 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 I have PTSD from military sexual trauma, but in order to tell women to fuck off and don't put your arms around me, I have to hop on camera and make out with a woman for ratings in a television show or a movie just to have the money to say don't put your arm around me on a fucking train? No, thank you. Are there plenty of gay films that need actors, that need pretty people? Yeah, yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. But do I want to do acting? No. Because I support gay filmmakers. I support gay filmmakers. But the way I support gay filmmakers is when you're not making your film, or when you are making that film, who cares about your health? Who speaks to you about your health? Who speaks to the government and says, I will send a message on X to POTUS of American health has to be important. It has to be something that you care about. You should care about your people. The treasure of the nation is the people. Even as annoying as that woman is, who put her arm around me, I still called the train personnel, not just to complain about it, but to also say, did you help this woman? Why do I have to be in this position? And still, the Seattle police haven't gotten back to me. So I have to stay up like I'm on fucking sentry duty watching CQ, and I'm no longer in service. Why do I have to deal with this kind of stress? I'm out of the military. I'm a nobody and nothing in that regard. I wasn't gonna put up with sexual abuse. So no, whatever test that was, I decided to take the I'm a citizen test. Nobody has the right to violate you. Nobody. You hear me? Nobody has the right to violate you. So here I am on YouTube, just waiting, just waiting. I'm tired of being nickeled and dimed by this country because what they say is capitalism to me it's just strong arm thuggery. Strong arm thuggery. Oh, you don't want wild fucking women to run up and grab you or put their arms around you. Oh well, if you spent more money, then you would be in situations where they might behave. They might behave. Because tell that to Terry Crews. Tell that to Terry Crews. He bounces his pecs. He thinks he's, the hottest man in the world. And yeah, he is. He is. But do you think he wants to be groped? Like a few times he thinks, it's kind of funny. But I don't think he feels that way all the time. I think in some cases he says, no, I don't want that. That's that's not what my vibe is about. So why are they doing that? Who the fuck do these people think they are? Now, I'm not fit like him. I mean, I'm a soggy Brazilian, but here I am. Here I am. All my favorite people are doing concerts, and it's supposed to make me feel like I'm missing out, fear of missing out. And I just say, I'm not missing out. Susie the homemaker. Susie the homemaker takes care of her fucking family. And then sometimes she gets that fucking vibrator out and, she goes to fucking town. Susie is not missing out. Susie is dialed into the rightness. And then her husband comes home, she puts on the fucking thigh highs, she got the hooker boots, and she's like, let me greet you. Like you aren't being greeted at your job. Susie the homemaker is doing fine. Now, am I Susie the homemaker in this situation? No, not really. But do I think of just the monotony and soul crushing life that just being a part of modern culture? Yeah, I'm just not into it. I'm still a fan of things. I mean, I'm always going to be a fan of things. I'm still going to light up when I see big, giant green monsters. I'm still going to light up. But now I have to think, yeah, I mean, there's a giant green monsters on screens, but who's going to talk about forest fires? Who's going to talk about the goddamn California forest fires? The temperatures that soar so high that trees just say, fuck it. Boom. Who's going to talk about that? Because people get so fucking busy, busy, busy people, busy people. I'm like, are you busy not to fucking burn to death? Are you busy not to fucking choke on smog and pollution? I left California. I still say fuck you to California, especially fuck you to LA. But even with that fuck you, I'm still trying to fucking save you. Save you people who had to put up with that forest fire, but didn't have a moment to yourself, a moment of where am I and what is going on around me, that you didn't see that as much as the forest was on fire, the sky is always burning in California when you have that many cars and that much pollution and nowhere for it to go. And the climate is of a desert. And California doesn't realize that California and Iraq are the same exact fucking climate. Same climate. It's a desert. It's a desert. And these trees are, in its own way, through forest fires, just giving up on us. Trees are alive. Trees are alive. You burn them for fucking firewood. You don't think of anything of it. You don't think it. When you burn a forest, do you even want to apologize? California? Do you ever want to apologize for that? Apologize to the fucking animals that lived there, that had a home there. You apologize for any of that? You accept responsibility? No, you threw a party for the people who lost houses, but not the animals. You just dance right on their bones. You don't fucking care. Nah, I'm never going to be okay with how America thinks about environmental issues and how they think about treating the average person by saying, we'll distract you as much as possible so you can never have this conversation. Never fucking talk to each other and say, you know what? I'm not cool with forest fires. I'm not cool with smog, and I'm not cool with vehicles that no one knows how to drive properly. And by properly, I mean you just don't do it at all. You let a robot do it. Or you say, why do I need to travel? I need to travel because I spoke to the United Nations Human Rights Commission. They sent me an email back with the response of, by January, not even January, it was fucking December. It was fucking December that they were going to have a response for me. December 2025, they were supposed to have a response for me of how they were going to handle the war crimes that the United States does against its own citizens by forcing sexual encounters against their will. Military sexual trauma is torture, torture of American citizens. And I asked the United Nations Human Rights Commission to look into that. And their response was, we'll get back to you around December. We might convene a meeting for that, convene a hearing. We might not. But either way, we'll get back to you. And they never did. It is March, very shortly, March. And yeah, I'm impatient. I am impatient because instead of the United Nations saying, you know what, that wasn't cool what happened then, and then what's happening to you now, that's even worse because that means that you're being targeted to being abused to, you're being targeted to be abused. Yeah, being targeted to be abused. And I don't understand what is the purpose of this. Because if it's to tell me, you know, never do music, because, that's our domain. And if you're not going to fucking sing and do concerts for us or be in our movies and let us make a dime off of you, then what are you? Some fucking bard that just goes around singing for the joy of it? Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying that I create music because I like creating something. I like building something new. I like solving a puzzle of music. I like music. I just don't agree with commercializing it. Some people commercialize it and they're okay with it for a while, and then they say, this is fucking empty. I look around and the people are just nodding their heads, and everything I say is the funniest thing that they've ever heard. But you realize that either they just want your money or they want you to be a part of their business and sell something for them, or they want you to do something for them, or they just want you, or they want to be you, but they don't have the courage to do that or the talent. So, no, I don't want that life. But I'm not going to stop making music. Do I still do covers? Of course I do. I have two covers that will be coming out soon. Is it my fucking best work? Fuck no. But am I happy that it's just out there and that at the very least I can still sing along to it? Do I need to publish in order to do that? No. But I like doing that. I like publishing my music. Is it a losing money hobby? Yeah, it is. But it's the best decision I made. I like creating art. I like finding reinterpretations of songs that I love. And sometimes they're amazing, sometimes they're not quite as amazing, but they're mine. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of my art. I don't want to commercialize my art. And somehow that's going to have to be okay. And that's going to have to be enough. I am going to Canada to speak to the people about energy policies because that's who I am. I'm a nobody who doesn't have a hit record. I'm just someone who talks about solar energy. And I think that's what people need. I'm going to take another break because I guess I have to try and get some rest if I'm going to be in Canada by the morning. My name is Ian Iliona. I hope to see you on the next podcast. Bye.